Abdennour Toumi, who's an Africa-France relations analyst with the Middle East Studies Centre, ORSAM. He joins me live on the line now from Paris. Abdennour, welcome. So the deadline to restore President Bazoum, that's gone. He's not back. And Niger seems to be taking action now. It's closed its airspace, which suggests it's anticipating or preparing against any possible attack from a foreign air force. The Wagner group's been called upon, of all groups, for military assistance in this situation. Does that mean that conflict is coming?
Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for having me on the show. Yes, it is. I mean, all the ingredients are there for the conflicts to come. But I believe that deadline or ultimatum given by ECOWAS to the new military authorities in Niamey are just showing some, let's say, pressure or putting the pressure on the new authorities, military authorities in Niamey. However, there are some other channels that are leading, I would say, secret talks to avoid this military operation that all, I would say, the responsible countries are worried about the consequences, and here is Algeria is one of them, because for its national security purpose, and also for the humanitarian consequences that will be emerge from any military operations. And therefore, we saw even Italy and Italy Foreign Affairs Minister, who is against any military operation. On the other hand, we saw the persistence of Paris that is pushing for a military operation and using the ECOWAS, this sub-regional organization that, I mean, to some extent is insignificant by all means, but so all these developments or elements will be seen as kind of a proxy war is pushed by France to, again, for Paris to avoid another chaos that has been facing. I mean, France's foreign policy in the Sahel and strategy has failed miserably.
You mentioned France. Obviously, it's the former colonial power in the region, sort of conspicuously absent by really strong statements. It's still got more than 1,000 troops situated in Niger. What role is France going to play in resolving this?
Unfortunately, it's not playing, let's say, or looking for a political solution or showing the diplomatic tools to break through this crisis. And indeed, France knows well the imperatives and all the dynamic of politics in those countries, because it's, I mean, politics in Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and so on, it's not that politics that we used to hear or see in Western countries. I mean, it has a lot of ethnic, religious ramifications. But France now is insisting and trying again to save face from another humiliation, because its strategy in the Sahel has again failed miserably, and it started in Mali. And then I would say it's the last base left for its foreign policy to stand. And this is why President Macron and his foreign affairs ministers are pushing secretly for the military operation. But it is, again, irresponsible, because they should think about the consequences. And again, this is why Algeria is against any military operation and is showing direct signals to Paris to not push for this scenario, because the consequences will be terrible. I mean, economics, politics, security vacuum, and so on. And the big issue will be a mass influx of migrants that will be crossing all the Algerian and Libyan Sahel and landing on the European shores. And we know that the European Union is already facing a crisis on this and is actually giving and supporting airspace in Tunisia to hold on this complex issue, I mean, the migrants. So, I mean, time will, I mean, it's not, again, playing on both sides, in favor of both sides, but I think there are diplomats and countries like, again, Algeria and Chad also is, again, because has borders with Niger, is against any military operation. And we are already actually hearing and reading some news reports that even the US has jumped in. I mean, Washington is sending some diplomats for talks with the new military leaders in Niamey for, again, to find or break through this crisis peacefully and look to reestablish a constitutional order. Frankly, I don't know what that does.
I apologise. I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap it up there. Appreciate your input, though. Abdennour Toumi, Africa-France Relations Analyst with ORSAM, my guest.
Thank you.